Hello everybody, welcome back to Ghostly French Toast, and today is since the new Blasphemous 2 DLC, which I'm excited for. Comes out on Halloween, which kind of is a weird date. I don't know why it didn't come out on Friday, but whatever, it is what it is. I want to talk about the story of Blasphemous 2, because I think Blasphemous 2 is one of the most underrated games of all time. And personally, Blasphemous is my second favorite Souls-like. My first is Lies of P, which isn't whose favorite oh my gosh. Whose favorite Souls-like is that not? If that makes any sense. So, the story of Blasphemous 2, I guess, by Ghostly French Toast. So, who, what, when, where, why? Main character, the Penitent One. Same as the character as the first game. For context, Penitent One is someone chosen by the Miracle, which is basically God, to carry out its will. The Penitent One's goal after getting revived, because he died in the first game. It's crazy. Stopping the birth of the new Miracle, which is inside this heart right here. And the Miracle's God, by the way. The Arch Confraternity will stop him, and the Arch Confraternity is a bunch of other penitents who have been tasked by the Miracle to stop the Penitent One from basically finishing his quest. The Penitent One fights through the city of the Blessed Name, and that's this little silly goofy town all around here with the three regrets holding it up. The beginning. Penitent One wakes up. Classic Souls game. Wakes up from the jail. He wakes up from some bunch of tombs getting held up in the air. The no mea culpa. That is very important, especially regarding the DLC, because the DLC looks like it's going to play a huge part in the creation of the new mea culpa and everything else. There's no mea culpa. You have new weapons. Learns it has to kill the three regrets from Espacita. A messenger comes down and be like, yo, you gotta kill the three regrets to enter this big city. And even after death, the Miracle still has people faithful. It's like these are all the Arch Confraternity, and we'll talk a little bit more about a couple of them next slide and later. Radamus, a priest who protected the first regret. And what the regrets is, it plays into the story of the Miracle basically blessing a family who couldn't have kids with a child. And that's this guy right here. That's the child. He is born. But I'll talk about that in 1 second. We learned that the Miracle is now basically operating on its own. So originally we know the Miracle worked kind of in tangent with Custodia and the priest of Custodia. They kind of worked a little tangent, like they would hear what's going on, but the Miracle has kind of gone its own will. And I feel like since the first game you killed the Miracle itself, I feel like the Miracle's kind of like last-ditch effort trying to like keep itself going. And I'll discuss my little theory in a bit. Not really a theory, it's kind of a fact. So after killing Osafrina, the Miracle is, it talks about how the Miracle's still alive, even though we killed it in the DLC for the first game, and blessed a couple with a kid who couldn't have kids. This child became deformed and killed everyone at its birth. And with him being born, it basically brought deformity to the land. And that's why everyone kind of looks kind of silly. So this guy's kind of important. We'll discuss him later. So by later, I mean right now. So very silly goofy. So the Penitent One makes it to the Chapel of Five Doves. And it's kind of a silly goofy place, not gonna lie. So the Miracle's child is still basically alive. And it's basically duty tasked by the Miracle, because the whole thing about the Miracle, it punishes people but doesn't punish people. So silly goofy, he's basically having to take notes, and he's the one that guides the Penitent One how to basically get to the heart in the sky. And what he has to do, he has to free each dove from their cage. So these little things he has to free by killing bosses and returning the keys to free the doves to get to the heart in the sky. The Miracle's plan. So Miracle's main goal right here, hope to bring back its influence, because after, if you die, I think it's kind of obvious that you're not going to be as strong as you once were. The new child was supposed to unite all under the Miracle's reign. The main goal for the Miracle is not to be forgotten, because this is its last-ditch effort to come back and have some sort of power, some sort of control, whatever you want to call it. And this wraps us up all into the ending. The doves are freed. This leads the Penitent One to challenge Eventero, the first of the penitents, and he's the best boss in any Blasphemous game. He is so raw, it's so great. I definitely recommend playing the game just to fight him. He is one of my favorite bosses of 2013 or 2023. The Miracle Child was born right after the fight. After the fight with Eventero. Doesn't really understand why he's born. He's like, oh, because the whole thing. So, this guy's basically the collection. This is the god. This is the child. Basically, the collection of all of the city, the blessed names, everyone that lived there, all their guilt and all that, combined into one thing. And since he's the miracle, he's like, shit, I kind of gotta like protect the miracle, I guess. So that's why he attacks the penitent one. In the end, it ends with the death of the child. And the penitent one ascends into the Great Campus, which is basically heaven in this universe. So, yeah, that was a very quick summary of Blasphemous 2's entire story to get you all caught up for the DLC. So, hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you next time on Ghostly French Toast. Bye-bye.